Good morning, everyone. Welcome to English 102. So I am your professor, Jessica Boykin, and let's go ahead and get started going through our syllabus slides. So you have the full syllabus on Canvas. You can always look at that for all the details, but I just want to go over this stuff kind of quickly with you so you have a good overview. For 102, we're going to be building on the skills of 101. We're going to be writing more essays. We're going to be building on our research skills. And part of the way that we're going to do that is through the theme of scams, cults, and conspiracy theories. Not all of our content is going to be related to this theme. You don't have to write all of your papers about this theme, but it's going to be something that helps us kind of give a little bit more something tangible to our thoughts about things like reliable sources and things like that. This is me. So these are my drop-in hours. I'm currently in my office. This is Language Arts 319. I'm always here Monday and Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. and then Tuesday and Thursday from 11:30 to 1. You can always meet with me online too. I'm on Zoom, I'm on Google Meets. I also have a phone in my office. You can always call me and I can just, chat with you on the phone. And then so for our grade overview, we're going to have 63 points just for our writing projects, and that's going to include a presentation and then 3 papers. We're going to have weekly assignments due. Some of these are going to be, more casual, like next week we have, or I guess later this week we have, you have to kind of tell me what your topic is going to be for your presentation and you should sign up. But some of them will be something a little more substantial, like a part of your paper that you'll have written, like an introduction, for example. We'll have peer review, so that will give you a chance to get some feedback from others in the class on your papers before you submit them. That's going to be worth 7 points overall. And then finally, reflections. Those are going to mostly be kind of periodic. They're going to be in the middle of the semester and the end of the semester for reflections. And then also you're going to have reflections on each of the topics, scams, cults, and conspiracy theories. We have 4 writing projects. I'm going to go over them kind of briefly, and then we'll go over them in more detail in other videos. The first project is going to be our presentation, and basically this is going to be taking the place of readings in this class. You will have some readings that you'll do, especially since this is an online class. These are things that we would normally maybe watch together in class. So these will be things that are assigned for outside of class. Obviously, we don't meet, but this is going to be, the presentation is going to be a chance for you to do a little bit of research on something that you're interested in related to the class theme. So this is any scam, cult, or conspiracy theory that you find interesting. It could be something really serious. It could be something kind of silly. I've had students do things, all over the spectrum, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in our presentation video that I'll share a little bit later. We are also going to do a contextual analysis of a documentary or a podcast. And basically what you're going to do here is a rhetorical analysis. A lot of you have probably done that. And if you haven't, don't worry, we're going to be breaking it down step by step. But if you've heard the words ethos, logos, and pathos before, then you're probably like somewhat familiar. We're going to write a 5-page essay analyzing a documentary or podcast, looking at these elements of rhetoric. You'll also want to have a works cited page, and it's going to be worth 20 points. Our second paper in the class is going to be a digital argument and explanatory essay. And basically, this is going to kind of sound a little more complicated than it really is. Our first real paper is we're going to be analyzing a video, for example. And if you're trying to think about this and kind of get an idea of what it is, basically what you'll do for this is you'll make your own video that has an argument in it, and then you're going to do a meta-analysis where you are explaining how you use these rhetorical appeals that we talked about in the previous project. And then our final project is going to be a research paper. We're going to debunk a conspiracy theory. And this is kind of a challenging paper because it's very difficult to argue with somebody who believes in a conspiracy theory. But we're going to give it our best shot. And basically, the goal here is going to be to prove that something is unlikely, not that something is impossible, because that's actually very, 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 very difficult, maybe impossible to prove. And so research paper of a conspiracy theory, this is going to be a 5-page research paper. So pretty short, but it is going to be complex. And then it'll be worth 20 points overall. We're going to be turning in our papers in parts throughout the semester. So I'm really hoping that I won't be I don't think you or me are going to be too shocked by your grade on the final essay draft. But if you get your draft back and you think, oh my gosh, I really thought I was doing better than this, just know that you can revise and resubmit. You can, let's say you forgot an element, you can always add that. Like, let's say you forgot an introduction, you can add an introduction and resubmit the paper, and you'll get those points back. So you're allowed 4 absences in this class, and you don't have to tell me every single time that you're kind of like missing an assignment or something. You get up to 4 absences, but just keep in mind that it's really important to attend. And since this is an online class, attendance is, relative, but what we're really talking about here is that you're consistently turning in your assignments. So if you're turning in assignments late, then that counts as an absence. And if you start missing a lot of assignments, I'm going to be reaching out to you and saying, hey, what's going on? Is there anything I can do to help? And yeah, hopefully we can help you get caught up. If I'm absent, again, we're not meeting as a class, and so I can't really be absent per se. But if you're looking for material online and you can't find it, let's say you can't find the video for the week, you can't find assignments for the week, please reach out to me as soon as you can. It's possible there's some sort of error. It's possible that, yeah, I mean, who knows? But I want to make sure that you have access to everything, and as soon as possible. If you have a late paper, then what ends up happening is you start to run behind in the class. And a lot of people who start to run behind, they can't catch up because it really is a pretty fast-paced class. So what I would recommend doing is trying to make sure you're really honest with yourself about how much time you need. And one of the things that can be really helpful for that is asking for extensions. So what you can do is with any of the major writing projects, including our presentation that's coming up next week, you can ask for a week extension that gives you an extra week. And that way you just have a little bit extra time to work on things, to plan, and you will have to do maybe a little bit of catching up, but a week is usually possible. And so I've built this in just in case you're running a little late or you need just a little bit more time. This can really help you stay on track. There's no penalties for extensions, and there's no limit to how many you can get. Generative AI, I have a whole statement about this in a TLDR, but basically you can use generative AI for things like brainstorming. You can't use it to write your whole paper, and there's a lot of reasons for that we're going to get into later in the semester, but basically AI is just not capable of competing with human writing at this point. Disability access statement, what this is about is basically just telling you that if there's anything that I need to change in the class to make the class a little bit more accessible, this doesn't even have to be like an official request. It could just be something like the font is too light, I can't read it very well. Could you make the font bigger? Could you speak more slowly? Or anything like that. Any materials that I've shared with you, if you have any issues with them, please let me know. I'm happy to make any kind of changes to make it a little easier to read or listen to or whatever you need. Technology loans, if anyone needs a laptop, or I think hotspots they're still able to give out, I'm not sure, just go ahead and click on this link and they can get you a laptop, which is, of course, very helpful in an online class. If you need any snacks or groceries in the student union, there's Gabriel's Pantry, which has free snacks from 11 to 2. You can just kind of stop by really quickly and grab something, which is nice. And then there's also shopping in the student union, and that's also available from 11 to 2. And try to get there early is what I've heard is good advice. And then our last slide is on our DRS and Title IX statements. This is going to have our official policy on our disability resources and our Title IX. But just know that I'm happy to help you get in contact with anyone related to these resources and policies. And that if you click on this link, you can see the full text of both of those. I'm going to go ahead and end here, but I'm going to share some more videos with more detail in the next few moments. All right, have a great day.